Why I Avoid People at 70, A Man's Candid Reflections. There comes a moment when you realize you've been living by someone else's rules your whole life. For me, it happened 3 years ago. The phone rang, yet another invitation to a birthday dinner for someone I barely knew. As I listened to the voicemail, something remarkable happened. Instead of that familiar knot of obligation in my stomach, I felt nothing, just quiet. I deleted the message, poured myself a scotch, and spent the evening rereading Hemingway. And you know what? It was glorious. Somewhere along the way, I stopped needing people the way I once did. And before you call me a hermit, let me tell you, this isn't about bitterness. It's about finally understanding what matters. If you're a man of a certain age who's starting to feel this way, pull up a chair. Let's talk about why avoiding people might be the wisest decision you'll ever make. 1. The weight of time. Young men think time is infinite. At 70, you feel it in your bones. Every sunrise could be your last. I learned this the hard way after my heart attack. Lying in that hospital bed, I didn't think about the meetings I'd missed or the parties I'd attended. I thought about the mornings I'd wasted listening to some blowhard at the diner drone on about politics. Here's what they don't tell you. Every yes to someone else is a no to yourself. These days, I ask 3 questions before committing time. 1. Will I remember this in a year? 2. Does this feed my soul? 3. Would I do this if no one was watching? If it's not at least 2 yeses, I decline. No excuses. 2. The evolution of male friendship. Back then, friendship was simple. You worked together, drank together, maybe played softball on Sundays, quantity over quality. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of those guys weren't friends. They were circumstantial acquaintances. Real friendship at our age looks different. Last winter, when I had pneumonia, only 2 people showed up unasked. Mike, who plowed my driveway at 5 a.m. before his shift, and Carl, who left a pot of his famous chili on my porch every damn day for a week. That's your inner circle right there. See this? 43 signatures from my retirement party. You know how many still check in? 3. And that's okay. What matters isn't how many men you've known. It's how many would carry your casket without being asked. 3. The calculus of trust. Trust at 70 isn't given. It's earned. Slowly, like sighting in this old Winchester. You make small adjustments, test the mechanism, and never point it at anything you're not willing to lose. I've been burned enough times to recognize the signs now. The nephew who just needs a loan until payday. The old colleague who reconnects just before his MLM pitch. Even the neighbor who's suddenly very interested when he hears you're selling your Harley. These are the men who've proven they can be trusted with more than my good whiskey. The ones who showed up during the divorce, the bankruptcy, the cancer scare. Funny thing, none of them are who I would have predicted 30 years ago. 4. The modern assault on male sanity. My father's barber shop was where men solved the world's problems. Now, look around. Everyone's shouting into the void, but no one's listening. We've replaced firm handshakes with emoji reactions, traded meaningful silence for notification pings. I used to think technology would connect us. Instead, it gave us new ways to be lonely together. Last month, my grandson asked why I still write letters. I showed him the box of correspondence from my father. Every crease in the paper, every ink smudge tells a story no text ever could. 5. The sacredness of solitude. People fear being alone. At 70, I've learned it's where I find myself. That first fishing trip after my wife passed, just me, the lake, and my thoughts, did more for my grief than all the well-meaning visitors combined. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's the space where a man can hear himself think. These days, I schedule unproductive time, like others schedule meetings. No agenda, no company, just the luxury of my own thoughts, the freedom in fewer. They'll tell you withdrawing is unhealthy. That's youth talking. At our age, we've earned the right to be selective. The paradox? The fewer people I allow in, the richer those connections become. Here's to quality over quantity, to depth over breadth, and to finally understanding that a man's legacy isn't measured by how many know his name, but by how deeply he knew himself.